There is no cure for Eustachian tube dysfunction, but there's a reason why we're not healing. Some of you are probably looking on YouTube to find a cure. Looking for that one-hit punch, something that I can take, something that I can do, something that I can just spend less than maybe 4 hours doing and be done with this thing forever. Well, unfortunately, just like most things, it's going to take a little bit more than that, because the exact position and condition that you're dealing with doesn't work like that. The reason why a lot of you are kind of feeling this sense of desperation, you're willing to do whatever it takes to get back to your normal self. It's almost like you've tried all these different things and you're still in the same position. You're still feeling groggy, you're still feeling the clogging, the swishing sounds, you're just feeling out of balance and just not yourself. And what's worse is now it's into the mental health aspect. It's into the mental realm of your life where, let me tell you, that's like getting the king or queen on a chessboard. It's really difficult in order to try to figure out how to solve this mystery if you don't know what caused it in the first place. And that's why I'm here. I thought that maybe I could do 1 or 2 videos on my channel. I'm up to over 900 videos about Eustachian tube dysfunction. And it's not just because I have a thrill of talking about it, because it really reminds me of a time in my life where I struggled the most. A lot of people have stopped me that I run into in the past, that I've ran into now, but remember me in the past, that have said, "How you doing? You doing okay? Everything's okay?" They still remember those days where I struggled and tried to climb my way through this mystery that I was dealing with. And it's been challenging to try to go back in time again, but it's not really something I regret doing. I actually enjoy talking about it and helping others. Now, I'm not thrilled about Eustachian tube dysfunction in itself. I'm thrilled about having something that I hold, some information that I've gathered over the years that I can actually share. That's what I'm thrilled about. The serving aspect of being able to help others out there that are in this mysterious mindset of what the heck this thing is. Well, the reason why I've created this video today about that, to explain why there's no cure for Eustachian tube dysfunction, is just like most things in life, there is really no cure for a lot of things. And in fact, when you buy products, you see that they always put 99%. There's never really 100% of anything, because you know why? That other 1%, or even in this sense, more than 1%, requires our participation, it requires our diligence, it requires our consistency. We can't say there's a cure if there's no sense of our effort has anything to do with that. If it has nothing to do with what we do, we can't say that there's a cure for anything, because it always, almost always, has a lot to do with our diligence. Now, I'm going to get a little bit into detail about that. The reason why I do my videos, and I explain to you about what Eustachian tube dysfunction is and things you can do, is to give you basically a laundry list of things that you need to do, or you can potentially try to do, in order to find healing. Now, the concept of healing isn't cure-all. Healing is that you're healing something that you're healing your body every day. The word healing is to improve. And so we're trying to improve ourselves. And in the middle of trying to improve ourselves, we're not trying to cure anything. We're trying to get back to the way we were. And so we're trying to get rid of things. Sure, we do want to find something that helps target the issue. Now, my research and my diligence in this channel, and my advocacy of trying to find what will tone Eustachian tube dysfunction down, of course, my ultimate goal is to find that thing that's going to help remedy what you're dealing with. But it's hard to use that word cure, because the word to cure something requires, again, what we do. It's an action item. So if you discover you have a rash, there may be an ointment that cures that rash, but it requires you to do what? Apply it moderately, apply it consistently. You have to put your side in too. And so if there's anyone online that says they have a cure to anything and they don't tell you the backstory of how to come about that, they're most likely feeding you nonsense, because it does require your participation. Now, when I had this condition, there was a multitude of things that I tried, but I'll tell you the most effective things that helped me heal and eventually cured me. Now, you have to say things in that way, because I don't want everyone watching this video to think that I'm promoting this magic sauce or this magic pill that's going to help everyone be normal again or be back to the way they are. I am a coach. It's almost similar to a weight loss coach. They don't have a pill to help you feel confident in your body again. Those are steps that are acquired through time, and so they're coaching you not only to help you tone down your consumption of of food and calorie intake, but they're helping you pick the right things to heal your body in itself. It's not just strictly weight loss. It has a lot to do with it. You have to target the entire body, and you have to start from the top down. Our brain is at the top of our body for a reason, in my opinion. It's at the top because that's where you start. If it wasn't as significant as it is, it wouldn't be at the top. It'd be at the bottom. It'd be at our feet. Start from the top and work our way down. To heal yourself of Eustachian tube dysfunction and tinnitus and PET, patulous eustachian tube disorder, and TMJ related problems, you have to start from the mind and work yourself down. So basically is you have to find the mindset to believe that you will cure yourself, or you will cure yourself eventually of this condition. And then you have to start putting the pieces in place. 3 years of struggling. I can tell you that more than 2 years of those 3 years, my mind was not committed. I was, and not to say that I was being negligent, but it was just like I didn't know any better. It was like that child that keeps making mistakes, and they really don't mean to do that. So if you don't know a lot about something, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to make errors, and you're going to do things that are not going to lead you to the ultimate goal of healing, or regardless, whatever it is. And so for me, it was those 2 years were stumbling and not really doing the things that I should be doing. And in the midst of those 2 years, in the middle of those 2 years, I was not right in my head in terms of positivity and adding diligence into play. Because diligence, I use that word very, very sufficiently. That word diligence means a lot to me, because diligence means you're going to do whatever it takes to get to that end result, and not just whatever it takes, but you're going to make strides every day. You're going to start holding yourself accountable. So when I say that there's no cure for ETD, it's the truth, because the fact of the matter is, now I can say I'm cured now, is it took a lot. It took red light therapy. Now, some of you are you're not in the same mindset, maybe, because and I'm going to say this, you have every right to not be in your mindset right now, because you're probably in the deepest and darkest points of time with this condition. But a lot of you are reaching out about red light therapy and hoping that this is all you really, because some of you are on the last straw of patience. And so red light therapy in your mind might be developing a sense of thinking, okay, this is going to be the nightcap right here. I'm going to do this. I'm going to be better. You'll find real quickly that for me, that was my situation, because I had gone through a lot before I found or discovered red light therapy. I had been doing a lot of good too. So when I found red light therapy, I was on my 3rd year, and I had already been doing a lot of good things upon discovering red light therapy, and red light therapy just sealed the deal for me. But for you, a lot of you out there, you may be at the first step, but still at the very extreme level of mindset about, you might be at the severe level right now, but you're not there in terms of, maybe there can be some changes and adjustments that you can make probably in your overall lifestyle, your diet. Like you may be working a very stressful job that you continue to do. So you're undoing a lot of good, and therefore red light therapy is not going to help, because every time it helps you, you go back and you do the same thing over and over and over and over again. It's almost like a carousel effect. So when red light therapy does not work, there's usually something being undone. And a lot of times that undone thing is posture. It's posture most of the time. And you don't hear this a lot. You hear about posture when you say I have back pain. You hear about posture when you say my neck is tight. But you don't hear about posture when you say my ears are plugged, or I'm having this off balance feeling. You don't hear about it. So for me, I can't come on here and say that I have this cure, because I don't. Because in order for that to be true, I have to tell you that there was one thing that I had that just cured it, and there wasn't. It took effort on my part. It took a lot of trials and tribulations in order to figure out what I was doing wrong, and ultimately what I think all of this resulted into to where I am now, where I'm healed now and cured now. What ultimately was the deciding factor was that I decided that I'm going to start doing better in my diet. Remember, it's elementary school education, elementary school level education when it comes to health. Most of the time, it's the general things that they teach you before you, or they should be teaching you before you even leave elementary school. I started doing better in those things, started being very consistent. And I started holding myself accountable and doing it with intention to know that you cannot spot heal. So unless you have a rash, you can't spot heal the body. And even then, if the rash just keeps appearing, just putting cream on and then treating your body bad in other areas could be a sign of your immunity could be low. And in a result, your body's not fighting off whatever this causing this rash. You can't really spot heal. So for all of you out there that are trying to spot heal because you just feel desperate, you don't know what else to do, please take my advice. You got to start from the top and work your way down. You got to get the mind right. You got to start sleeping better. That's going to get the mind right. You got to start incorporating good, healthy food. That's going to get the mind right. You got to start taking time to stretch and being mindful. That's going to get the mind right. All these things are not spot healing. These things are entire healing. It's an entire participation of the mind, body, and soul healing. And that's what I finally got in my head. I finally understood that when I got to that point in time, healing was just going to be right there. And it was. Within that third year, I finally got smart. I didn't, and again, I'm not trying to boost myself, but I didn't really find anyone that really dug deep into this condition and these conditions. It was more just the simple things that people think of, like, if the car won't start, just put some gas in it kind of thing. And it was a little more deeper than that. You got to get into the engine. You have to see what's going on there. It could be a spark issue, electrical issue. I mean, there's a lot of things other than just put gas in the car and keep going. And that's the kind of information that I felt I was receiving when I did finally get smart and start digging a little deeper in the internet world, trying to figure out why I have this thing instead of just Googling and going off of face value of what I think I might have or feel. And so basically what I'm telling all of you out there is you're still struggling, and don't think there's a one shot, one big pill to swallow or anything like that. Think of it as like, this is a sign that your body needs a little more help. And once you start giving your body a lot of help in other areas, unrelated to the ear, you'll realize how much and how impactful just healing other areas of the body will start gravitating into all the areas of your body. You'll start seeing better. You'll start smelling better. You start feeling better. Your mind won't be so triggered by inconveniences. Like there are so many little tiny details when you start healing with intention, but not trying to spot heal. Don't say I'm going to cut out drinking soda, but you're drinking beer all the time, like things like that. Like, no disrespect to anyone that likes those things, but you have to understand, if you're going through something, you have to rework the system. You have to kind of modify a lot of different things until you figure out what works, what doesn't work, and you have to troubleshoot, and you have to be diligent enough to keep doing it, even when it feels like you don't feel yourself 100% yet. Because a lot of times you get to a pause where it's like, okay, I'm not feeling that great yet. I'm just, why? I should be feeling so. See, a lot of us out there are so equipped because of our society and the way things are now. If it's not a way to microwave it, just add hot water or go through a drive-through, we're thinking that it's inefficient, And a lot of times you have to put in a little bit more. You have to put a little bit more into it to make it better. That's why food tastes better when you cook it from home and put a lot of steps into it and give it, versus just throwing it on in the microwave and giving it that way too. You have to put a little bit more detail in what you're doing in order to feel the most maximum results of your health, of the way you just overall body. So again, a lot of you out there watching this video, just know that I have put together a large warehouse of information. And the reason why there's so much and so much more to come is because I don't know who you are. If I don't know who you are, I don't know what you need. And even if I did know who you are, I probably still don't know what you need because I don't live with you. I don't stay with you. I don't watch you. I don't follow you around. You have to figure out what information serves you the best, just like what food serves you the best, what food gives you the most energy, what type of bed you sleep in gives you the most energy, gives you the most efficient amount of sleep. You have to take basically all these different things and put it into your own catalog and apply it. Once you have it into a catalog, you apply it consistently. Then as you're applying it consistently, you do it with diligence, meaning that regardless of the outcome, you're going to keep taking things out, adding things in. You're going to do it consistently and diligently, meaning you're going to do it with intention. You're going to do it strategically. And those things could be what I just named, all the general things in life. This condition harbors on those that are willing to give up because they don't see instant results. Some of you have messaged and said, I've done red light therapy for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Why don't I feel any better? Why? Well, and some of the questions I ask, well, how long have you been dealing with this? And the questions are usually, well, I've been dealing with about 3 years, 4 years. Well, you've been dealing with it far longer than you've been trying to get rid of it. So I suggest keep going. So I hope this video was very helpful for you. If it was, please take time to subscribe to the channel. I try to bring content often. In the meantime, I'm going to step out of the Jayewellness studio, leave you in good hands with this video. Like anything else, folks, we're here to simply go back to the basics. Take care, everybody.